Umentri rangba kajala u Konrad ke sangma ula kuburi ke jing'e ke badan haga kamti dewiong haga jala da ka ba ong bakam de ka kam ka basuk ban khen be an bat ban shukhang syndet ngala beteng ban kren ya kani de ke spa sien kidan artli ke a hang ne arjar khat saw bat shwa ar spa snam ka jingti dewiong la le ha ka rukam ti thliu khnai rat hole mining ne tunnel mining kat ba phi ya khon bat da kilak kilong gieng kiladan benta hakani ka kam Henry kensan thiwan ban ong kani ka ju ka kam ka bala yan bat long an menta la ar spa snam Henry na du la shai kala be an no ong ukonran Umintri rangba ula banjur ba kani ka jingkala ka ba kensan kalawan ra ka jingkintet ekipai ba khamtam kitu kinong tre par ki bayale ban penyaha bar ka jinglong jingman ka bathmai da shisha kalong kabakindit ikipai ba khamtam kinong trepar kumta kan shimpor na kabenta jongki ban mi na kata ka jinglong jingim bat kilong ying long sam bat ka jingim jongki kabar kila shania hakan ka kam haka jaka jongki weipat ki jakam ukonrad ulapan ksani ki jingle jong ka sarkar da ka ba ong bakila shime ki sinjam ban pentre kam ya ka jingkhang ti do yong be an kunthop ka jingmudui de ki hajar tali ki mukot duma chart sheet bar ka jingkhang dam ya ki par do yong man la ka por bangi yo jingtep halor ki jingshisha ki bayade bar ki kamti do yong be an na ka sarkar kala shime ki sinjam ban le Henry ula banjur ru halor ka jingdan kam bandan ni ki weipat kilat kamai kaji na ka bentai ki tu ki basyakta na ka ni ka jingkhang ti do yong na ka benta ka kamai kaji ka banet slam dan kam ban pli de ki weipat kilat kilinti ya ki batrei ya ki ni ki kam menta lada pikwa ya kalar banti do yong pihaban wan da ka jingti ka bakat kum ka juk jingstart bamenta ula ong Ukonrad ula penthikna baka sarkar kadang tre ban penkala syaka rukam ti par ka bakham shngan bat ka bakat kum ka juk Henry ula pediang baka ni kandang shimpor ka jing tre kam kalayan ngilayo I baka jingkala na kithliyo khnai syaka jingti ka bakat kum ka juk jingstan bat ka jingshngan kaladan kan sa urlong Henry kan kham shimpor na mar ki brio ki haban be tingka ban penya day bat ban pendap ya ki rukam trekam ba pher ban yo jingbet na Delhi na ka cool ministry CMP DCIL sarkar Meghalaya kumta kan kham shimpor ula banram Umintri rangba ula kerpat ru ya ka jingsngothu na ka benta ka imlang salang bat ka long brio man brio halor ka ni ka kam da ka ba ong baka sarkar ka kut jingmut ban pentre kami kendon jong ka an bat ru ban perkhat halor ka kamai ka ji jong ki pat ba kat ba ngidang pet hakaliang ka sensyar bat ka jing bishar halor ka ni ngidon kam ru ban sngutu hakaliang ka imlang salang ka kamai ka ji bat ban sngutu hakaliang ka long brio man brio balay baka ni ka wanjia
So I have repeated this maybe 100 times. So you can always go back to your videos and you can see two things out here. 2014 and before, for 200 years, the mining was done in the way, you know, rat hole mining or tunnel mining, whatever you call it. And lakhs and lakhs of families were involved in this. And suddenly you come and say that, oh, the same thing which was okay and legal for 200 years is from tomorrow illegal. Obviously, it's a big shock to everybody and the people, and especially the miners. So therefore, it takes time for them to come out of that mode where livelihood is dependent, their lives, the families are dependent on that, other businesses are dependent on it. And therefore, it's not a very simple thing. Why I'm saying this is because it's very easy today just to say, oh, it's illegal. And for 200 years it was legal. And suddenly one day somebody wakes up and said, oh, it's not legal anymore, it's illegal. Question is it fair for the person who is on the ground, earning his or her livelihood and supporting his or her family, and suddenly saying that it's illegal tomorrow? But whatever it is, it was done. Now, in that whole process, all the government machinery, police, legal, everybody has been involved, the judiciary been involved, trying to implement this mandate that was put in, which, as I said, is very complicated, keeping in mind the history of 200 years. So to answer to your question is very simple, is that whenever there have been cases where we have been given information about facts that mining, illegal mining has been happening. The government has acted. Thousands of cases have been filed, thousands of charge sheets have been done, and many actions and fines have been made. Many mines have been closed down. So action is happening. But as I said, one has to remember and realize, and that this thing that we call illegal was legal before, and suddenly one day just to get up and it says illegal. It is not so simple for people to just simply go away. For livelihood to be sustainable in the long run, alternatives have to be given to people. Now, if you want an alternative to mining, then you have to come up with scientific mining. Now, that process is on now. We are seeing that transition from rat hole mining to a scientific and a safer mining happening. Is going to happen today, tomorrow? It can't. It takes time because people have to invest, people have to adapt, people have to file for different procedures, get the permissions from Delhi, from Coal Ministry, from CMPDIL, from Government of Meghalaya. So it is going to take time. But the important point is we are in that direction. We are moving towards that phase. And while we move and transition into a phase of having a more safer mining system and the transition of having more scientific mining system, there will be certain issues and cases that will come up. There could be certain incidents, but as a government, as I said, for us, the rule of law is important, and therefore we do implement it. Whenever we get information, we act on it. We have closed down many mines, and we have filed cases against many people, and we'll continue to do that. But I think, as I said, while we look at the administrative and the legal aspect and judicial aspect to it, we also need to realize the social aspect, the livelihood aspect, and understand the humane side of why this is happening, and understand that though it is desirable to be able to completely switch off, it is practically not so simple for individuals who have been, having the livelihood dependent on the mining for hundreds of years, families and generations later, suddenly telling them that you cannot do this, you cannot live your life. I mean, you cannot, support your family through this. You have to stop this. So it is that humane side which I think the people should understand, the press should understand, and everybody involved should understand. What is important for us to see is that slowly and steadily we should find the alternative, and hopefully we'll be able to find a situation where we are able to now, in the coming days and years and months, that we'll have a safer system for the miners and a safer system for the overall environment also.